Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Open Cluster Management Community Meetings. Today is 2025, February the 14th. And on the agenda today, I think Jen is going to talk a little bit about the manifest work enhancement, ignoring fields. This was proposed, I think, near the end of last year, and I think Jen is going to show us the implementation, some examples of it. Jen, please feel free to take it away whenever.
Yeah, let me share my screen. Yeah, can you see my screen now?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, okay. And then we'll demo the ignore field in the manifest work. I have a demo script. Um, so okay. And at first we introduce under the server-side apply strategy, we introduce ignore fields and ignore fields field in the manifest work. So here is an example. We at first we need to set up update strategy to server-side apply, and certainly you have to set resource identifier to the deployment to this deployment, and then you can set the ignore fields under the server-side apply configuration. So there is two conditions. Here I will demo the unspoke present condition. Unspoke present means that when this resource exists in the cluster, it will not be changed by the manifest work again. Like so, which means that if this resource has been created initially by the manifest work and then someone changed this field in the resource, the manifest work will ignore this change. And also on the manifest work, if you also change the replica here, it will now also ignore this field in the resource. And there is another condition type called unspoke change. Unspoke change is a little bit different. It means the change will also be honored when the manifest works related field is changed. So let me first demo what unspoke present here means, and then I can tell more about what is unspoke change means. So at first I will create a manifest work here. Okay, and then you should be able to see the deployment created. The replica is the same as the replicas in the manifest work. It is because the deployment has not been created before, and it is the first time it is be created. So we will add that. We will set replicas the same as what is it in the manifest work, and also you will see a config spec hash that is set by the work agent on the resource, on the deployment resource, on all the resources created by the manifest work. So this hash is a hash value for the resource, but ignore the certain field in the resource. And then let's scale the deployment to 3. So when you scale the deployment, you will not see anything be reverted by the manifest work because this field has been ignored by the work agent. And now let's check whether it, so let's see if we change the replica to 4. Um, Expectedly, because this field is both ignored on the manifest work and on the spoke set, as long as its resources exist in the spoke. So this field replica 4 will be ignored based on the JSON path here, so the replica will still be 3. So let's do this. Okay, and it is applied, and if we check the deployment, it is still 3. Means that this field is not picked by the work agent. And then we can do another change. So in this example, we change 2 field. Um, the field replica 4 and the command line field here. So previously it is hello world, but we change it to hello world 2. So based on our feature, the replica part will be ignored, but the command part will be patched onto the deployment. So let's do it again. And as you can see here, let me check. Yes, the replica is still 3. Here the replica is 4 is because it is doing the rolling out, but the desired replica is still 3. But the command line parameter has been changed based on the by the manifest work. So this is on present. I don't have a example of the unspoke change, but mostly it is the same. The only difference is um, when the result, so the same part is that when the resource is changed on the managed cluster, this field, the work agent will not revert this back based on the manifest work. So for example, if we change this to unspoke change, and some other actors change the replica in the of the deployment on the spoke directly to 3, the work agent will not return it to the 2. Uh, but if, on the other hand, unspoke change means that if someone changed the manifest work, for example, change the replicas here to 3, then this change will be applied to the managed cluster. So the unspoke change, the only difference between unspoke present and unspoke change is unspoke change will still pick the change on the manifest work for the certain field, but unspoke present will ignore both sides, like ignore the field change on the manifest work and also on the spoke cluster. So I think that will for unspoke present, it is good because we can basically create a resource and then um, create a resource with an initiate value, like for example, if we create a deployment, we want to init his init replicas to 3, but then we can set a spec replicas to as a ignore field, which means that after it is created, the replicas field will totally controlled by autoscalers or other controllers on the managed cluster, and nothing will be no matter manifest work set or something, it will not be the ownership will not be transferred to the work agent again. But on the unspoke change, that can cover some more complicated scenario, something like as Mike you said about the Argo CD has I don't remember the field name. It's the operation field or something. that it will be removed by the controller after something is finished. So in that user scenario, you can set unspoke change, set this condition to unspoke change. So when this part is not when this part is removed by someone on the controllers, the work agent will not change it back. But when the work agent want to change it back, you have to, for example, set some change a little bit on the manifest work to trigger another update to make this field added back again. Um, yes, so that's all for this demo. Any questions?
No, I don't have any question, but that's exactly what I was looking for. Thank you, Kushan.
Thank you. And I still need to create a doc on the website about this feature. So I will do it next week.
Sounds good. Thank you. Any other questions for Kushan? If not, I want to talk a little bit. Oh, first of all, Kushan, do you have any other topics that you want to discuss?
No, that's only this one.
I want to talk a little bit about the 1.0, where we briefly floated the idea of having a 1.0 release. I'm wondering, I just want to share that in the community right now. You know, what does everyone think about that idea? Do you think we're ready? Like, do you have any good suggestion on how we can proceed? And is this something that we should be doing? Stuff like that. Just a little brainstorm session. So if anyone have any good ideas, please feel free to chime in. And and the reason why I feel like we're a little bit ready for 1.0 is because since our if we mark the beginning of our project as getting into the CF sandbox, we have made quite a bit of improvement in terms of our core APIs or our core concepts from cluster inventory to work distribution to placement to our add-ons. The amounts of enhancements that we have made to all those core concepts have been quite significant. And then we also have made couple of integrations, specifically Argo CD. So, I feel like we have enough feature sets that I feel like we can sort of GA, so to speak, in terms of 1.0. I'm gonna go from QJ first. QJ, what do you think?
Yeah, let me share this. Let me share this one. Um, so I think we need to probably set up maybe an issue and include all the things that we think that we need in the 1.0. Um, so so for example, for this one, the about API, I was thinking that this one should be in the if we have a 1.0, this one should be in the 1.0. And something else that, for example, there is several OCM incubation issues that we created, including what we need to document on the OCM and some other part that might be also considered. Some might be considered to be in the 1.0. Um, so so I think maybe we should create an issues on the backlog, like in the OCM repo, um, to say this is a 1.0 milestone, and then we can discuss in that issue on what should be done in that should be the in that umbrella. Does it make sense to you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, that makes sense. And I see August have these thumbs up.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
thank you. I was trying to find that raise my hand thing. I'm not used to Zoom. Could we also, with the 1.0, somehow highlight our alignment with Sig multi-cluster and how we've implemented their ideas, like in some kind of, that could be a nice moment for the 1.0 to say, look, they've got the 4 APIs they talk about, and we're meeting those in certain ways. I think that might be an area to think of, a little chart or something, just as an idea for the group here.
Yes, I think so. I think there are majorly two APIs that we are involved with Sig multi-cluster. One is the About API here, but we haven't
Yeah.
integrate with them. And another one is Cluster Profile. We have a feature
Yeah.
gate disabled, but we have some integration with them. So I can't think that,
Maybe,
yeah.
yeah, maybe that's a nice, maybe the cluster profile API is a nice moment, like, for us moving to that. So we're adding another huge piece from upstream or from the SIG. So just some thoughts for the group. Doesn't have to be. I mean, you are all more experienced with doing this, so it's my
Yeah.
view. But yeah, 1.0 would be cool. I think it sounds like the project is ready and it helps. We've got some user and customer stories starting to really surface now, and I'm going to tease those out as I learn more. So that would go along nicely too.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, sorry.
No, that was it.
Yeah, okay. So Mike, do you think that it makes sense that we also ask in the Slack channel or send
Yeah.
a survey about the 1.0, what they really looking at?
Okay. So the message will be more about, hey, we're thinking of doing a 1.0 release. What do you think? Do you that type of thing, or it's more like we are doing a 1.0 release. What do you think should be included in the feature list?
Uh, I don't know. I think one possibility is that we at first we create an issue and we set in the Slack channel like we are preparing and we are collecting uh, requirements that anyone think it is valuable.
Okay. Anyone have any inputs? Share here or in the issue and stuff like that to make it a little bit more open, right? Okay.
But Mike, and I agree with Sean that I like that though. I think we are preparing that. We don't we are. It's time. I don't think it has to be we're thinking of. It's
Okay.
it's time, and we really want to gather up that information to really show how great it's become, and that can bring in the stories and the bits and pieces. But I think we should speak that way.
Yeah.
Sure.
Be confident that because I mean, look at all the stuff here. This is ready. This is look at your release list that I'm seeing on the screen. It's time.
Okay, I'll get that issue created, and then I'll craft a message in Slack in the mailing list. Anyone else wants to chime in? Jushan, Queen Hao, anyone? Joshua?
Oh, one thing that I want to mention that we talked with Kevin Hannon, who is a Seek batch in upstream, Seek batch chair yesterday, and we will plan a presentation to the Seek batch on our work on the queue and multi-queue and how CM can make that setup and scheduling easier. So we can find the time later with in a SIG batch meeting to present that.
Sweet, sounds great. Thank you, Kujan, for sharing that. Okay, that's all the topics that we have today. Anyone else have anything? Going once, going twice. So, okay, thank you everyone for joining, and see you next time. Take care.
Yeah, bye.
Yeah.